Since words are more powerful than we sometimes give credit, okay, most often it is a word that's determining your energy level, a word that is determining your emotions, okay, and a word can even be determining how you live life. So for that matter, we must put attention on the way we using words and the words we are using, okay? So for that matter, I also stay away from people that do good mornings and that have good mornings. I stay away from people that speak in unaliving energy as they rise. And in fact, we like to rise in riches. Yeah, I rich rise. Matter of fact, rich risings, love risings, power risings, all of these work. Elevation risings, patience risings, spiritual risings, awareness risings, energy risings, togetherness risings. I like to always remind myself that, so I'm never confused to thinking I can do certain things alone that requires the interactions of all human beings and sentient energies. Togetherness rises. When we speak this way, this is us taking control over the way we think, over the way we feel. When we speak this way, this is us acknowledging the power on our tongues. Because there is indeed power on our tongues. Okay? And since we like to spread awareness on this power, okay, I've designed alongside the universe, okay, that means with the help of the cosmos, specific days, okay, for us to go into etymological homework, for us to do our semantical work, okay, for us to go into ebonics, and which is all clever ways to say wordplay, okay, so we can know exactly how to use this power that is on us. Okay, because it is indeed on us. We are accountable and responsible for the way we feel, and also for the way we make others feel sometimes. Although they have the ultimate power to be able to decide what they consume and what they do not. Okay? But there are some around us who may not be aware of their power. And those that's not aware of their power, when they around people that are aware of their power, they can be abused, taken advantage of. Okay? So, I say that these days, okay, are organized by the help of the cosmos because it is Mindset Monday. Because Mondays is ruled by the moon. Okay? Mondays are ruled by the moon, and whenever there are two different occurrences on a Monday, like if it's a full moon on a Monday, the stars done aligned. Or if it's raining on a Monday, the stars done aligned. And don't let it be both. If it be both, goodness. Okay, that's divine alignment right there. Okay? Today is raining on this moon day. The stars are aligned. Why? Because Monday is not only synonymous with the moon, but the moon is synonymous with the water element, and the water element is synonymous with the emotions. The moon is magnetic. Okay? So the moon magnetic properties tend to pull on the water on the earth. It pulls on the water. This is why you see high tide on full moons. This is why you see people in lower energies on Mondays or even on those rainy days. Okay? And especially during those full moons, people's energies are everywhere. I want you to understand where that's coming from. Okay? The magnetic properties of the moon is increased by ways of the sun. The sun is electrical. Okay? So the sun is sharing its electricity with the moon. Listen, the moon is dark. When you see the light on the moon, that is the reflection of the sun. Okay? So as the moon receives from the sun, okay, it also reflects that light, bounces that light right onto the earth. Okay? And by doing so, the earth is pulled. The magnetic field of the earth is pulled by the moon. I say all that to say, look at the response to the water during these full moons. And ain't you 99% water as well? Okay, so you have also a response, an emotional response, a spiritual response, and even a mental response to the moon. Okay? So I say all that to say, if you're being pulled by the moon on Mondays and then on full moons, if you're being pulled by the moon, then it's a perfect time to release. Okay? It's a perfect time to release. So full moons are the best times to release, to fast, to practice releasing, to practice fasting. And also, if you ever need some assistance, if you ever need my coaching or mentorship with fasting, I've been fasting for a decade over, and I will assist you. Okay? That is part of my life's work, assisting you with fasting. Okay? Just contact me any way, shape, or form you may know how. Or you can comment fast on wherever you're watching this video. But yes, if full moons are the best day to fast, Mondays are the best days to reassess the ways you are using your emotions, since you are being guided by your emotions, guided to make decisions, guided to make actions, okay, and acts, guided to have a particular attitude about a particular thing. Your whole perspective can change depending on the way you feel on a Monday. So for that matter, we're going to utilize our emotions to our advantage. Okay? This is the art of transmutation. I teach transmutation, how to turn a uncertain thing into a certain thing, how to turn, okay, negative energy into positive energy. Yes, this can happen. Okay? You can turn a negative into a positive. This is the art of transmutation. Okay? I have books on transmutation that I've written, and this month I will be gifting, okay, a few people this book. Shall you be one of those A students that have been paying attention? Shall you also be one of my subscribers and also be aligned with me on all other streaming platforms and socials? Then you could be first runner up to receive one of my books. Nevertheless, we're going to be transmuting energy in this way. Okay? We're going to be resetting our minds, because it's the mind that is navigating the spirit. The spirit is providing a GPS for the body. You only go where you feel like going. You only feel like going, okay, where you put some or a lot of thought towards going. It's where your mind is painting the images. Okay? You're going towards these images, depending on the way you feel. Okay? It's going to determine where you take your body. Are we clear? Okay? So since things are beginning in the mind, we call this Mindset Monday. Okay? So on these particular days, we like to do a few things. First, we like to assess our mind. Okay? Assess the mind. We like to do mental check-ins. Let's check in with our mind. Okay? And then sometimes we like to bring up different minds that have garnished our attention. Different minds. Minds in the media, minds on a local level, different minds that may have our attention, so we can do a dichotomy on these minds. We can do a full breakdown so we may understand our reflection, no matter if we agree with it or not. No matter if we like it or not. Understanding is peace. It's best to understand the thing, because then we can cultivate compassion. Yes, then we can cultivate sympathy. And when you can cultivate compassion or sympathy for a person that you do not agree with or a person you do not like, you have been enlightened. You are aware. Okay? And when you are enlightened and aware, you are a powerful being. Okay? So not only do we do that, but we also go through a segment called Speaking in Tongues. Okay? Where we like to go through semantics, etymology, and ebonics. Okay? And share the words. Okay? That may be a blessing or a curse or a spell over our spirit. Unbeknown or beknown to ourselves. Since the mind is a word that we're going to use here a lot, let's go into the word mind, if we will. When you think of mining, okay? When you think of your mind, also think of mining. And when you're mining, you're looking for jewels. When you're mining, you're looking for gold. Okay? So when you minding your own business, you also looking for jewels. You also looking for gold. And when you're tending to your mind, what we doing? Looking for jewels. We are looking for gold. This gold aligns with our riches. Okay? And as it pertains to our riches, we will enrich ourselves. Okay? Because there is indeed a cure for the impoverished spirit. And that's a rich spirit. And the only way we obtain riches is if we learn how to enrich ourselves. Learn how to go on the inside for the riches. Maybe we need to start minding. Okay? Maybe we need to start doing some digging, doing some mining to figure out, why am I thinking the way I'm thinking? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? They say the highest form of intelligence, okay, is to consider the way you are thinking, is to observe your own thoughts. So we practice being intelligent. We gonna mind. Okay? Just this word alone has a lot of power in it. Okay? Not only are we going to mind, but sometimes we're going to remind. Yeah. I say not only are we going to mind, but sometimes we are going to remind. Yeah, what does that mean? Okay? We are going to reuse the riches that we've already had to find more. Light can find more light. Okay? Light can find more light. Energy is attracted to like energy. So we can remind. Okay? And when you're reminded of a thing, when you're reminding yourself, okay, this is your affirmations. Yeah, that's what your affirmations are. You are reminding yourself. This is your prayers. That's what your prayers are. You are reminding yourself. These are your meditations. These are your mentations. Okay? These are also your confirmations. Okay? All of these are forms of reminding. Okay? Already just using one word, a word we'll hear a lot. Okay? We've laid out a few actions to do with this one word. And that we may not have even known that we were doing with these one words. You must understand what you are reminding yourself, because the thing you think about the most becomes who you are and how you feel. A lot of the ways we feel, a lot of our attitudes is the results of repetitive thoughts. Some of us ruminate. Rumination. The hyperfixation on past negative events. Something negative happened, you can't get it out your mind. You begin to chase and you chase and you chase and you chase. And before you know it, you feel as bad as you did when a negative event happened. All the time. This is rumination. Rumination, okay, is the negative side of reminding. Because maybe you're not digging for gold. Maybe you're not digging for jewels. Maybe you just digging. And in all that digging, all you found is dirt. All that digging, all you found is dirt. Okay? That's a form of reminding. Okay? Then, as you start understanding how to attract your own energy, as you start understanding how to attract your own spirit, okay, you develop something else. You develop the ability to rub shoulders and to attract like minds. Yeah, like minds matter. Some of you may be convinced that you are alone certain times. Some of you may be convinced that you are by yourself. I'm going to say it again. Some of you may be convinced that you by yourself. I know, it feels like that. Especially when you first. Especially when you a leader. Some of you may be convinced, okay, that you either by yourself, that you alone. Okay, I understand. But I want you to understand that you may be around people that don't share the same mind as you. See, you need to be around like minds. Minds that like yours, okay? And minds that are like yours. Y'all in the same frequency spectrum. Okay? Exhibiting the same colors. Okay? Like minds matter. Sometimes when you feel alone, it is because you're just not around those that are like-minded. Okay? And now you start to feel, like you've been left astray. You start to feel black sheep. And in all actuality, if you don't remind yourself of what's going on, that can develop loneliness. All you need to do is get around like-minded people. Sometimes you may not know how to find like-minded people. Here's a trick. Y'all ready for it? How do I find like-minded people when I feel alone? How do I find like-minded people when I feel like the black sheep? When I feel so estranged around the people that I've grew up around my neighbors, around my family, around my coworkers? How do I find like-minded people within my neighborhood, within my community, within my nation? Here's a trick. Like-minded people think a certain type of way, move a certain type of way, and they act a certain type of way. Therefore, they go certain places that the other minds do not. For example, I'm a reader and a writer, okay? Published author. So, if I want to be around like minds, I need to go where people read. I need to go where people write. It could be libraries, okay? It could be places that sell books. But you know what I like? I like cafes. Some people go to breakfast stores, right? It's two different type of people in the world. My type of people, those that's like-minded, we go to cafes. Just going to an old breakfast shop not good enough for us. We need the whole ambiance. We need greenery in the background. We need flowers at the table. Yep, we need a waitress within the cafe. We need overpriced drinks. We need those. Because sometimes the overpriced scare away the other people. We don't need to go places where there are dollar coffees. We need to go places where there are $5 coffees, and then there are options that have some rise, which is mushroom coffee. We need to go where they got hibiscus on the menu. They don't just have black tea. Lipton. We don't even go places where they sell Lipton. See what I mean? Cafes of the like mind. Okay? And other minds like breakfast stores. It's a big difference. Smells different too. Smells a lot different. In them cafes, you know who else can be there? Not only am I a reader or a writer, but you know who else can be there? The entrepreneurs. Oh yeah, entrepreneurs, people that work for themselves like I do. I've been an entrepreneur for nearly coming up on a decade. Okay? I haven't clocked into anyone or filled out the W-2 form for anyone else. So I appreciate all your support, all your love. Okay? Visit the LaquanFoundation.com if you wanna further invest into what I'm doing. But nevertheless, I go to places where I find my like minds. It be other entrepreneurs. More than that, it be who I was before I was an entrepreneur. You know who I was before I was an entrepreneur? A paid contractor. Yeah, you could have contracted my skills, attributes, and abilities. Some of you are contracted. Okay? Some of you are working on contracted terms. Okay? Before you reach entrepreneurship. It's levels to this. So yes, I'll be able to find them, at these cafes. And I'm only using cafes as an example because I have a biasm. I like cafes. Okay, I sell tea. I'm a tea salesman, if you didn't know. Okay, I'm formerly a holistic practitioner and an agriculturalist. Okay, so I have products formed from those skills, attributes, and abilities. They are teas. Whenever y'all hear me say peace, power, and prosperity, they are actually teas. In fact, I'm sipping some right now. Peace is for the mind, power is for the body, giving you natural energy, and prosperity is a natural detox. So I like cafes. Okay, you can also find them on my website. Nevertheless, oh look, that was the flood alert. One more time. It's raining. It's raining, but we rolling with the punches. It's raining. The stars finna be aligning. It's raining. Yeah, it's raining. So, nevertheless, I like cafes, but there are other places to find like minds. If you ever wondering why you feel alone, if you ever wondering why you feel like the black sheep, it's because you are trying to find entertainment in worlds where there are not like minds. So if there's not like minds, there are not like activities. What we going to do together? What we going to talk about? I hold my pinky up for crying out loud. I say things like for crying out loud. This is my natural ordinance. This is my natural correspondence. And those of you who can understand me, those of you who can recognize me, you are my reflection. Okay? And it is my job as a leader, as a teacher, as a spiritual advisor, as a mentor, to not only guide you mentally, not only guide you emotionally, but I'm also guiding you physically. I'm telling you to get away from where you are. Okay? Doesn't have to be a permanent excavation. You don't have to make some old dramatic exodus. But you are going to have to practice going different places. I go to places where my like-minded spirit is. Listen, being a ex-holistic practitioner, it's certain things I like to do holistically. Y'all know what I like to do? Y'all know what I like to do so I can find my other reflections? Because where I go, I find people just like me all the time. I don't want you to think that. You see, my days of alleged loneliness, because I was never lonely. I'm the eldest of 11 people. I was never loneliness. I just felt different. Some of you may also be going through that. Okay? I learned early how to find my type of people. We dress alike, we talk alike, we walk alike. Now, maybe they may not wear kimonos like I do, but they wear capes. I wear suit jackets. They wear capes just like me. They wear button-ups just like me. Okay? Get away from where you are and surround yourself around other people and places. Now, there are other places I was going to mention. Okay? Holistically, I like to go to spas. Anybody else here that go to spas? Yeah, comment spa if you like going to spas. I like going to bathhouses. I like Turkish bathhouses. Why? Because they have everything I need within the same place. They got the steam rooms. They got the sauna. They got the pool. They got the ice bath. They got a massage room. They may even have a bar and a restaurant, some good music. Yeah. And when I go there, you know who I find? Again, reflection. Again, like minds. Entrepreneurs, leaders, creators, musicians that take their music seriously and they're not just phone artists. You know what's the difference? It's a caliber to things. Certain people make their music, they only making it inside their phone. No. There's certain places I go, these be real musicians. We be in the sauna speaking on what instrument do you play? What you play? I be like, I play the harmonica, I play the organ, I play the keys. Yeah, I do a little bit with percussion. They be like, what you play? They be like, I play the bass, I play the flute. Then you start seeing people different. Y'all know flute people is different. Saxophone people different. Harmonica people different. Trombone people different. Feel what I mean? People with substance. Okay? And also, even if they not leaders, creatives, entrepreneurs, etc., sometimes they just responsible people. Yeah, they live on a certain tax bracket. These can be also mothers, fathers. Okay? They love to take care of themselves. They love to do what they need to do for their own bodies. All the time, it ain't exactly what you do, it's the frequency you operate on. Okay? This is why it's important. Okay, to practice like minds. I'm just giving us an example. And if you like a list, okay, of several other places that I like to frequent, okay, just comment like-minded places down below. Okay, specifically on the YouTube form of this video. Okay, because that way I'm going to see it. Yes, like-minded. Practicing like minds and being around our own kind. Okay? When you think of mind, okay, before you get to that D, you think of mind. M-I-N-E. Mind. Okay? You are the one capsulizing what is yours. You're deciding what is yours. You're deciding what is mine. So when I say like-minded, I'm also saying you are mine. You are my reflection. Okay? You are mine. I see my eyes in you. I see my energy in you. You are mine. You are my sibling in righteousness. You are my sibling in light. You are my sibling in entrepreneurship. You are my sibling in music. You are my sibling in teacherhood or studenthood. You are my sibling in leadership. You are my sibling. You are mine. Okay? Hopefully you have a better understanding about speaking in tongues. Hopefully you have a better understanding why words matter. And why when you're not speaking positive things onto your spirit, it is most often going to be negative. There is no neutral with words. All of them have a power. Okay? A power over you. All words have a power. That's the way they were constructed. Okay? To decide the navigation of the mind. Okay? So, when we think of minds, okay, we thinking of mining. We thinking of digging for gold. Okay? And when we're being reminded, we're going back into those mining caves. Okay? We're going back into those mining fields and finding more gold and doing exactly what we did the first time to find more. Or we're seeing the negative aspects of being reminded, living in the past, living cyclical events. Okay? Nevertheless, that's just a few examples, just using the word mind. Okay? And why it's important to reset your mind. It's bringing us down to Mindset Monday. Okay? On Mindset Monday, we are setting our mind. Okay? We are setting our mind. We made an entire 360. We're coming back to the same Monday, a different Monday, because all of them are different. Okay? So, we are resetting every Monday. We resetting every week. Okay? And I'll go into the other days of the week afterwards. Okay? But we are resetting. We are resetting our mind. Why are we resetting our mind? Because it was a long 7 days. It took a lot of energy away from us. And as mentioned earlier in the video, okay, your energy is determined by your thoughts. Your thoughts are determined by the things you repeatedly think. It is your thoughts and the things you say to yourself on repeat. These become anchored thoughts. These anchored thoughts become emotions. These emotions become your spirit. Spirit correlates to your energy. Your energy becomes the way you navigate your body. Ashe, we had a long 7 days. Okay, so we're going to need to repeat some things. Okay, we're going to need to repeat some things. So I'll go into the 7 days. Monday is ruled by the moon. We call this Mindset Monday. That day is important to reset your mind. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. It is a warring planet. The perfect day to fight for something. So we decide what to fight for. We fight for ourselves on the next level. We fight for the next level of evolution. We fight for our next avatar. We're fighting for abundance. So I call that Transformation Tuesday. Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the house of communication. Okay? So it's a perfect day to commune. Commune with those on the outside, those like minds, or commune with that which on the inside. Commune with your spirit. Commune with your mind, commune with your body, and allow them to commune with each other. That's meditation. Okay? I call that Wealth and Wellness Wednesday. We are focused on the wealth and well-being of our mind, body, and spirit. And then we have Thursday, also synonymous with Thor's Day. Thor is a sky god, okay? And that planet is Jupiter, okay? Jupiter is the ruler of Thursday. Jupiter is a family-oriented planet. That's why it's big and blue. And when you think of big blue, you think of prosperity. You think of family. You think of your investments. Because you are investing for your future. You are investing for your prosperity, and your family is your future. That next generation is why you're doing things. Perfect day to invest. For this matter, for this reason, all family-oriented holidays are on Thursdays. Your Christmases and your Thanksgivings especially. This isn't by mistake. Then you have Friday. Friday is ruled by Venus. Fertility, celebration. Okay? You can practice a certain sense of selfishness. Okay? On Friday. You're going to be dealing with beauty. Okay? Fertility, celebration, all on Friday. For this matter, we like to go out and we like to celebrate. On these Fridays, that's the Venus energy. That's what she gonna give you. Venus, the planet. Okay, Frida is the god. Then we're gonna step into Saturn Day. Okay, Saturn Day. Okay, things are turning. Okay, things are turning. The Sa is turning. And I'm gonna do a breakdown on Saturday on its own video. But things are turning. Okay, actually, the 7 days in the cycle is about to be complete. Things are turning, and as things turning, it's imperative for you to focus on yourself. Self-care Saturdays. Okay, you're thinking of self. Perfect days to be selfish again. Okay, you're thinking of what's necessary for yourself and you're evolving. Okay, if you're going up 7 steps, okay, and you're at the step right before the 7th, okay, then it's imperative for you to revisit and reconsider the things you need. Saturday is also the 6th day of the cycle. 6 represents completion. Things are coming complete. Your whole 7 days are complete. And after they complete, right, that's why that's a Sabbath day in certain cultures. After this is complete, now you have a resting day. You actually don't have a 7-day cycle. You only have 6 days. Okay, the 7th day is for you to rest and restore. Okay, the 7th day is ruled by the sun. That is Sunday. You get to step into sun energy. You get to step into the brilliance of the sun. You get to be reminded of new life. Okay, and why are you doing these things? The sun also is granting a rebirth. You are rebirthing yourself within a 7-day cycle. So after this rebirth, we must again reset our mind. One more time. And that's why Mondays are Mindset Mondays. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness for those of us who have felt these different energies on these different days? Let me know in the comments what day of the 7-day cycle is your favorite day. Let me know in the comments what anything that I've said that resonated with you in any way, shape, or form. Okay? And also you invited to joining me every Monday. We're going to have 3 episodes. Okay? We ain't just going to go into these words. We ain't just going to be speaking in tongues, but we're going into the mindset. We're going to do some dichotomies. Okay? So if it's any mindsets you may be interested in, this is your introduction. You go ahead and comment them down below. Okay? I want to thank you. And before I get out of here, I'm going to go ahead and look into these comments, making sure I don't miss no stones. No stones going to be left unturned. I appreciate y'all. Somebody in the comments say they love every day. That's what I'm talking about. I see you, Shay. I'm glad you're receiving. I'm glad you are consuming my wisdom. Listen, when my wisdom is in a safe place, I feel complete. I'm at my 6. I feel like I've done a great thing. I see you, goddess. Y'all going to them spies? That's what's up. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the people that's paying attention. Literally paying attention. Somebody say I look like Bob Marley. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I want to thank my moderator for doing a wonderful job. Y'all go out there and thank my moderator. Yeah. Look at her page. She's also a leader. Okay, also a teacher, also a student, and have some wisdom, okay, to share with you as well. Okay? Nevertheless, y'all remember our slogan, right? Rich minds create rich spirits that create rich bodies. And it's these rich bodies that's going to create the rich lives we've been asking for. So for that matter, our slogan is let's get rich. Let's get rich, tribe. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to cut that notification bell on. Be sure to save these videos. You're going to need them again in the future. I've laid out a lot of wisdom. This was a very dense video. Okay, I try not to make it so long-winded, but I try to make sure that I am hitting my points, hitting my marks, and making sure I'm not leaving you confused, because I am not the author of confusion. I'm alleviating it. Okay, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you got that post notification bell on. Okay, make sure you commenting. Okay, wherever you may find this video, timestamp, share the things that you felt with the world. And let the frequency know we finna set to abundance. Okay? Nevertheless, until the next episode, let's get rich.